Broadcasts of HIKI NŌ are made possible by the support of viewers like you. Mahalo. And by Bank of Hawaii Foundation, investing in Hawaii's future by promoting collaboration, critical thinking, and other 21st century skills through HIKI NŌ. Kamehameha Schools, empowering Hawaiian keiki to explore, discover, and inspire. ABC Stores, a local company helping to transform education and develop Hawaii's workforce through bold learning initiatives like HIKI NŌ.
Next on HIKI NŌ, stories from across our island chain.
I'm proud I got this far. I never expected to be on the varsity level, let alone starting. As their quarterback, I take a lot of pride in that.
Meet the first female varsity quarterback to start a game in Hawaii.
Plus, get to know a student who inspires younger students to embrace the wonders of science, technology, engineering, and math.
Discover how high school students are getting hands-on experience in the construction industry.
Find out how an arts organization is helping to revitalize downtown Honolulu.
Meet a young woman who is helping other girls build self-confidence.
And learn how a high school student faced the challenges of cancer with bravery and perseverance.
Stay tuned for these stories and find out why students who created them felt compelled to explore these particular topics.
All on this episode of HIKI NŌ.
Can do.
We're here on the campus of President William McKinley High School, home of the Tigers on the island of Oahu in the heart of Honolulu. We decided to tell the following story of McKinley High School's female athletes in a male-dominated sport, because we wanted to show the evolution of the sports culture and McKinley's role in its growth. Here's our story, Breaking Gender Norms.
Okay, so my first game on the JV team, it wasn't pretty at all. It was really bad. I only played like a couple minutes or so. I got sacked for a lot of it. But it was really a fun experience. Like, I wouldn't trade that or give it up.
McKinley High School, located in Honolulu, Hawaii, has been around for over 150 years and has had a rich tradition involving high school football. Football has constantly been evolving to change with the times. Many have always considered it to be a guys-only sport. Over time, that cultural boundary has slowly shifted, making it more acceptable for females to join a football team.
Like my freshman year especially, that's when I was really new to everything. I was on a team full of a bunch of guys. Like it wasn't exactly scary, like they weren't scary. It was just, it was new for me. Like it was just something I wasn't used to. But once I finally did, I really enjoyed it.
On August 19th, 2017, Alexandria Buchanan, as a McKinley High School sophomore, became the first female varsity quarterback to start a game in Hawaii. But for McKinley High School's football team head coach Pat Silver and McKinley High School's athletic director Bob Morikuni, this is not their first encounter with female students joining a male-dominated sport.
My first encounter was back in '95 when I was at Castle High School. I had this gal come up to me and asked me if she could try out for the football team. I told her sure. And she was doing a pretty good job in hitting some of the guys.
In the past, we've had two girls that participated in football, Kylie and Chelsea Sato, who were kickers. I believe at that time the coaches asked them to come out and participate, and they were happy to participate for the football team.
Alexandria Buchanan continues to play varsity football at McKinley High School and hopes to continue through her senior year.
I'm proud I got this far. I never expected to be on the varsity level, let alone starting. As their quarterback, I take a lot of pride in that, and I take a lot of pride in having my team and my coaches' trust in me.
I think it's just a sign of the times, and hopefully females can continue and their sports can also grow.
Alex is one of many female athletes who have broken through the cultural boundary, redefining what it means to be a student athlete. This is Edward Ayano from President William McKinley High School for HIKI NŌ.
HIKI NŌ is on Instagram. For show updates and a peek behind the scenes, follow us on Instagram at HIKI NŌ Can Do.
We're here on the campus of Maui Waiana Intermediate School in the town of Kahului on the island of Maui. We've decided to tell the following story about one of our very own Maui Waiana students, Zoe Zane. Zoe has been a member of the STEMWorks After School program for the past 2 years and was inspired to create an activity-filled day to introduce youth of the community to science, technology, engineering, and math. After being positively influenced by STEM education, she worked with other club members to make the same experience available for younger students.
Today, it was amazing. I like the technology and I like animating, coding, and doing robotics because I didn't really get to do these things in my whole life.
Elementary student Kapriana Nozaki is one of more than 70 students spending the day at Maui Waiana Intermediate School, where children of all ages can learn how to code computer games, play with circuit boards, and even play Dance Dance Revolution on a field made entirely by Maui Waiana students. They also get to do
photography and videography, and also doing robotics, which is like programming and building.
They're learning about science, technology, engineering, and math, many without even realizing it. These activities are all part of the STEM Exploration Day, an event organized by Maui Waiana students for kids in the community. And 7th grader Zoe Zane is the one in charge.
It impacts me because when I see how much the children are enjoying all the activities, it took me back to when I was in 6th grade and how when I was doing STEM, how I loved doing it, and seeing that just made me super happy. When I see that the kids are doing the activities and having fun and actually getting the activities and them coming up to me and being excited to learn more, it just makes me feel so happy because I'm doing something good to the community and helping them learn more about STEM.
But the seeds of this day were planted decades ago when the Maui Economic Development Board launched a program that focused on bringing STEM education into schools. What it grew into was even more than CEO Leslie Wilkins could have expected.
I don't think I could have imagined almost 20 years ago when we got our first grant that we would see your generation of young women actually being the leaders, the visionaries, and charting your future. But organizing a community event like today to make sure that other young people have the opportunity to even go further than what you've gone.
When we teach kids about STEM, they gain skills that they can use in the future, like applying for jobs or colleges. It also gives them the opportunities to learn more about the STEM fields. It's important to teach the younger generation about STEM because we have newer technology and also helps kids have creativity when they're thinking.
With all the new advances in technology, the students at Maui Waiana are hoping to not only start a STEM movement, but to bring the next generation with them.
This day benefited me because I got to learn about technology. I want to be a scientist because I can help the world using this technology.
This is Kayla Namuro for Maui Waiana Intermediate School for HIKI NŌ.
Up next, students from Kapa'a High School on Kauai show us how some of their fellow students are gaining valuable hands-on experience in the art of construction.
For the next couple of semesters, we're going to be building columns, we're going to be pouring concrete, we're going to be framing roofs, building trusses, and putting it all together so that we have a beautiful, complete pavilion to provide shade or shelter from the rain and the natural environment.
Industrial Engineering and Technology, or IET, is an academic pathway at Kapa'a High School that includes hands-on learning opportunities.
We're, as part of Construction Academy, here teaching about shop safety, and learning about tools and materials, as well as preparing for a career in the field of either carpentry, painting, roofing, a variety of trades.
Currently working on the construction of multiple new pavilions to benefit the campus community, students are dedicated to improving their skill set.
The students at Kapa'a High School that are part of the building construction program and the Construction Academy program have poured the slab, have built the picnic tables, and are now in the process of building the pavilions for these picnic tables. So every student that comes on campus will have a place to sit down and be comfortable.
With projects being completed by the end of the school year, campus improvements remain beyond graduation for future students to enjoy.
Community members benefit by helping to contribute to their school or their school that they graduated from or where their kids are going to go to, as well as when Kapaa High School hosts other community events. These picnic tables and pavilions will be available to them for their to use.
The process of design is step number 1.
The design tech program helps us develop those plans through a set of mechanical drawings. They could be architectural drawings by hand, or they could be AutoCAD drawings utilizing technology and computer software that helps us design in 3D, helps us visualize what that building is going to be looking like, where it's going to sit before we even build it.
With multiple steps taken before breaking ground, many obstacles must be addressed in advance.
We've had to take the weather into condition, as well as sometimes coordinating resources, whether it's money in the bank and checks that need to be issued in order for us to purchase materials.
Breaking one project into doable phases for each new class is crucial for the scheduled completion.
We're going to be doing this concrete column and roof project for the next couple semesters.
Going beyond campus beautification, our IET program strives to improve our island.
We're hoping that we might be able to help build affordable housing for our residents here on Kauai.
This is HIKI NŌ Rivera from Kapaa High School for HIKI NŌ.
We're here on the campus of Moanalo High School, home of the Nā Menihunes on the island of Oahu. We chose to tell the story of how Arts and Marks Garage is reaching out to the community with artwork in hopes to revive the image of downtown.
Chinatown was in pretty dire straits at that time, and this organization was one of the arts organizations that was ignited here to help turn around the neighborhood.
As for being located in the heart of downtown Chinatown, the Arts at Marks Garage has faced many challenges.
I think for some people there may be a negative stigma that's associated with a lot of downtown urban areas, but that's also partially due to policies, housing, and different things that are happening that aren't necessarily setting up all the right resources for the people that are in Chinatown.
The Arts at Marks Garage is an art gallery, a performance space, and a co-op for artists.
My theory is when you really meet the community's need, that community is going to support what you're doing.
Just part of the program is giving people a voice to talk about their project and the issues and their perspectives, and that's what I see the Arts at Marks doing.
Some of our artists have shown their works in higher end galleries, and when they come here they get a different crowd of people seeing their art. We give them access to downtown Chinatown. You know what, we all benefit when we have art in our lives. Even if you are not coming here, you know someone who is coming here and experiencing art.
By providing the platform for artist collaboration, Arts has revived the energy in downtown.
If you look at some of the paintings around here, these are done, some of these may be done by people in your neighborhood.
There's also a very large group of people that want to ensure that Chinatown continues to thrive.
This should be a place that you and your family and friends come to every weekend because you know there's going to be something new and different happening there.
With no sign of slowing down, arts will continue to be the canvas for the community. I'm Luke Nakahoro from Moanalo High School for HIKI NŌ.
And now, we open the HIKI NŌ archive to enjoy a moment of tranquility with offering incense from Pacific Buddhist Academy on Oahu.
Oshoko, or offering of incense, is a daily practice in many Buddhist households. To Oshoko, Buddhists need a butsudan, or family shrine dedicated to the Buddha, incense, matches, charcoal, nenju, or the beads that keep practitioners mindful of the Buddha, and various other implements that are placed within it, including a representation of wisdom and compassion. Care should be taken when lighting the charcoal. Make certain to have an adult present. Then, place the charcoal in the bowl. Take a pinch of incense and sprinkle it on the charcoal. Put your hands together in Gasho, or the gesture signifying the oneness of Buddha and all beings. Take a deep breath. Take it all in. And bow deeply. Step back. Right foot first, then left. With feet together and hands at your sides, bow. Now you're ready to begin the day. Namo Amida Butsu. This is Casey Amato from Pacific Buddhist Academy for HIKI NŌ.
Aloha, I'm Lauren Kalama, here in Pukalani on the beautiful campus of Kamehameha Maui, home of the Warriors. Our story is about Taylor Lee, a young woman who used to worry about what others thought, but now finds strength in herself to be who she wants to be.
That there is good things out there.
In an age where self-esteem is low and many young women rely on social media to feel confident, Taylor Lee has decided to make a difference.
It's going to be compliment pockets, so everyone's going to get a folder.
I decided to have a retreat, and at first I just wanted to have a group, but I felt like I could get a better outcome if I did an overnight retreat with all girls. I struggle with having confidence in myself, and I wanted to make a difference in others, so I wanted to try and help other girls, preferably younger, because I feel like high school is a really hard time, and I wanted underclassmen to feel like they had support and that it's really not all that bad, because it took me so long to realize that it doesn't matter what other people think and just to find yourself. So I just really wanted to try separate social media and your self-confidence.
Taylor has fought self-doubt and low self-confidence in the past.
So personally, I always had trouble with accepting what I looked like, and that was hard for me because I always tried to please others. It's like a daily thing, and it just made me not want to try new things, and that I would feel like I needed to post certain things just to be liked. I feel really negatively affected me.
However, Taylor learned that she can be happy as her real self.
Once I got into the high school, I tried out for volleyball, and I made a lot of good friends out of that. And I feel like if you bond with people that have the same passion as you and have the same goals as you, you'll find a really good group of people, a platform. Because I just learned that I can do whatever I want no matter what I look like, and people are gonna like me for me and for what I can do, not only what I look like.
Because Taylor has found true confidence, she is able to impact others and help them get through struggles of their own.
I hope that my participants took away how to be confident in their own bodies and realize that they don't need social media to determine if they're pretty, if they're liked, or if they're popular. I just really hope that they know that they're perfect the way they are. You go out there and do what you want to do, because if you put your mind to it, you will do it. And I promise you can do that in anything possible.
Taylor broke through her challenges to show the world just how amazing she is and encourages other girls to be themselves. This is Amaya Genovia from Kamehameha Schools Maui for HIKI NŌ.
We're here on the campus of Waimea High School on the west side of Kauai. We decided to tell the following story of a young cancer survivor and her experience of maintaining a typical teenage life. We wanted to motivate people to be positive in the face of adversity and to remind them that anything is possible. Here's our story of Ranale, strength and ambition.
Ranale is fun to be with. She's really funny. And then when you're with her, you just feel relaxed.
Waimea High School student Ranale Batakan is truly that typical teenager, hanging out with friends, doing homework, and of course, always on Snapchat.
My personality in general is always
very optimistic, very like, I can do this. But like, yeah, throughout that experience, I had some downfalls.
Life took a dramatic downfall when Ronald was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, a cancer which damages the immune system. She was only 15.
My initial thought was, I'm gonna die. But then my mom explained that it was treatable, that there's a chance, and that I will be okay. And then, so yeah, we went from there, did treatment.
During her 4 months in chemotherapy, Ronald struggled in finding balance between fighting and also living a normal life.
The main struggle was the chemo because it like make you feel so disgusting and like groggy and tired and sore. And like not being at school and like being able to learn the lesson, it was hard because like I'd like go to school and they're starting a lesson and then like I'd leave and then I'd come back and they're on something totally different.
Despite her struggles, Ronald's optimism allowed her to persevere and be positive throughout her experience.
She totally surprised everybody when the doctors asked her, you know, how do you feel? Or, you know, and she just, when she said, it is what it is, and she just smiled. And I just, you know, gotta go do it. And it just shocked everybody. We just didn't know what to say after that. But
this is like too much. I don't want to do it. But then, I don't know, just like thinking about my family, my friends, and like my future, like I don't want to give that up. So that was like my main motivation.
Now, after a year from her diagnosis, Ronale is currently in remission. Her positivity has helped her to persist in her experience and in life.
You would never expect to get cancer. Like it was just something just like out of all the people, I got it. So like, yeah, anything can happen, but you just have to persevere. Be optimistic, be positive, have hope that if like life throws all these obstacles at you, these trials, that you can get through it. It's just a matter of if you want to do it.
This is Kalan Wachi from Waimea High School for HIKI NŌ.
Well, we've come to the end of this episode of HIKI NŌ.
Remember, all of these stories have been written, shot, and edited by students like us.
We hope you've enjoyed watching them as much as we've enjoyed sharing them with you.
Be sure to tune in next week for more proof that Hawaii students HIKI NŌ.
Can do.
In Waikea High School's story, Stay Humble, Pray, I was the co-writer and the camera. My partner was Kobe Ueda, and she was the main editor and the co-writer. Stay Humble, Pray is about Kyle Kilau Singh. He was a former drug addict and he went to prison. When he came out of prison, he transformed himself into this new person, and he goes around talking to other schools, sharing his story to help influence and not lead kids down the wrong path. I was a little intimidated by just his appearance, but as we were listening to his story and as he was talking to us, you could really see the passion in his eyes. At one point in the interview, he was even tearing up, so that just really shows his appearance is all surface. On the inside, he's such a great guy, and it's important to share his empowering story.
This is one of the first times I think any of my students have gone outside of the school and did a story on someone that they had no personal connection to. They went out and they actually found the story.
I
I've been doing HIKI NŌ for 5 years. I feel like talking and sharing stories is important. It's not just something that I do for class, it's something that I want to do, not just for myself, but to help other people and share other people's stories.
Emily is a new student to my program, but luckily she had Kobe as her partner and mentor, and Kobe did a really nice job helping her along. Emily was great. She's eager to learn. She picks up things very quickly, and I couldn't have been happier with her project.
Because I'm so new to this whole world of video making, I really took what Kobe and my teacher, Uncle Don, was saying to heart, and I really wanted to try and learn as much as I can. From this project, I think I just really have a greater appreciation for storytelling. I think it's just such an amazing way to really celebrate and highlight people with amazing stories and be able to just share it with such a greater audience.
Broadcasts of HIKI NŌ are made possible by the support of viewers like you. Mahalo, and by Bank of Hawaii Foundation, investing in Hawaii's future by promoting collaboration, critical thinking, and other 21st century skills through HIKI NŌ. Kamehameha Schools, empowering Hawaiian keiki to explore, discover, and inspire. ABC Stores, a local company helping to transform education and develop Hawaii's workforce through bold learning initiatives like HIKI NŌ.